Good morning, 7:19 a.m. Coming to you live from my living room. I'm wearing my merino wool dress. I'm supposed to be wearing this for 100 days straight. I've missed quite a few days this week and last week. Have not been able to wear it, but I'm going to wear it today. Okay, so this is actually news now. So I woke up this morning to this article, which is very interesting. Um, so this is from the New York Times, and I'm not a fancy YouTuber to put this up. I can include the link here in the comments section. I will do that later. You might hit a paywall with the New York Times, but I was able to access this entire article. So this is a First Amendment precedent. Adam Liptak, who is the Supreme Court correspondent, wrote this. Good morning. The Supreme Court may reconsider a major case concerning freedom of the press. The Times' Adam Liptak explains why. A First Amendment precedent. 4 years ago, at his Supreme Court confirmation hearings, Justice Neil M. Gorsuch indicated that a 1964 precedent protecting press freedom was secure. That's been the law of the land, 50, 60 years, he said of the decision in New York Times versus Sullivan, which made it very hard for government officials to win libel suits. But last month, Gorsuch said it was time for the Supreme Court to take another look at the case. What started in 1964 with the decision to tolerate the occasional falsehood to ensure robust reporting by a comparative handful of print and broadcast outlets, he wrote in a dissenting opinion, has evolved into an ironclad subsidy for the publication of falsehood by means on a scale previously unimaginable. Okay, so first of all, press, not going to argue the definition. First Amendment auditors, independent news sources, mainstream news sources, not going to argue on that. So, whatever you define press. Okay, libel. We're going to go as First Amendment auditors. I know you love the dictionary. Okay, so a published, this is the law. This is in the context, libel in the context of the law. A published false statement that is damaging to a person's reputation, a written defamation. Written. Okay? Also law. Defame someone by publishing a libel. Example, she alleged the magazine libeled her. Okay? So that's defining the word libel. Okay, so define press, we've defined libel. So what's happening here is that the media is publishing, can publish falsehoods, and then they're protected under the First Amendment to say, well, we can say what we want. Okay. Back to the article. Gorsuch, he is not alone in calling for reconsideration of the decision, which has only one rival as the most important legal triumph for the press in American history, also involving the Times, the Pentagon Papers decision in 1971. Justice Clarence Thomas, for instance, has repeatedly called for the Supreme Court to reconsider Sullivan and the rulings extending it, saying they were policy-driven decisions masquerading as constitutional law. The wrath of the press and media. In March, Judge Lawrence H. Silberman of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit endorsed that view in a dissent, but said that overturning Sullivan would be a heavy lift. I recognize how difficult it would be to persuade the Supreme Court to overrule such a landmark decision, he wrote. After all, doing so would incur the wrath of press and media. So overturning this ruling is really going to piss off media. The press is biased, he wrote, and so does not deserve Sullivan's protections. 100% agree with that. The press is biased. First Amendment auditors are biased. Mainstream media is biased. Anyone who wants to argue that position, come at me in the comments section. 100% agree with that. Two of the three most influential papers, at least historically, the New York Times, the Washington Post, and are virtually Democratic Party broadsheets. Silberman wrote, and the news section of the Wall Street Journal leans in the same direction. Okay? Agree with that. They're Democratic papers. They're biased toward Democrats. There are echoes of Donald Trump's frustration with modern defamation law in some of these critiques. We are going to open up these libel laws, Trump said on the campaign trail in 2016. So when the New York Times writes a hit piece, which is a total disgrace, or when the Washington Post, which is there for other reasons, writes a hit piece, we can sue them and win money instead of having no chance of winning because they're totally protected. Hate to admit that Donald Trump might be right. So, it's painful. It hurts me. So, if these Democratic papers are saying things about people that is libel, they can be sued for money instead of hiding under the First Amendment saying, we're freedom of the press. We can say what we want. So that's my opinion. I gave an opinion. And this ruling, Sullivan, protects the press from that. Okay. Extensions of Sullivan. It is certainly true that Sullivan posed a daunting standard, one that favors free speech over protecting reputation. It requires proof that the disputed statements were made with actual malice. That is, with knowledge of falsity or serious subjective doubts about their truth. So that's a caveat, which I agree with. Actual malice. So they knew that it was false. They're saying it anyway. Knew that it was false. So they have to prove that they knew that it was false. The Sullivan decision was limited to public officials. Later decisions required public figures, celebrities, and people caught up in public controversies to make the same showing. In a 1993 book review, Justice Elena Kagan, then a law professor at the University of Chicago, said that those were questionable extensions. In extending Sullivan, she wrote, the court increasingly lost contact with the case's premises and principles. In his recent dissent, Gorsuch cited Kagan's article twice, making a similar point. Rules intended to ensure a robust debate over actions taken by high public officials carrying out the public's businesses, he wrote, increasingly seem to leave even ordinary Americans without recourse for grievous defamation. I have to mull that one over. But the debate over the proper scope of the Sullivan Rule is no reason to do away with it, said Ron Nell Anderson Jones, a law professor at the University of Utah. There is reason that the Donald Trump and other politicians hate the Sullivan Standard so much. She said, it is a key way that we make sure government officials and other people in power can't silence their critics. I agree with that. You can't silence critics. That is silencing free speech. It would be a massive blow to American free speech to lose it. So, okay, when it comes to Donald Trump, he just wants to silence opposers, the people that oppose him. He doesn't want to silence people that support him. So if you're supporting him and making false claims, that's okay. But if you're opposing him and allegedly making false claims, he's going to do that. So let's take Donald Trump out of that and let's not talk about Donald Trump anymore. So let's apply this situation to Minnesota. Okay, so Tom Lydon did a piece on Tony Wicklace a year ago. You can go back and look at the look at the videotape for that. You can look at Minnesota News Now's channel for clips of that piece. And there was an incident where Wicklace was approaching a camera person and saying things to her that were rude. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. And then they did a piece on Wicklace going into a store. He was allegedly touching himself when he was in the store, and just videotaping. There was also a restaurant that he went into and was videotaping and creeped people out, made people very uncomfortable, was asked to leave. Tom Lydon did a piece on that. So we all know Wicklace was is being charged with a second-degree assault with a dangerous weapon and 2 counts of fifth-degree sexual assault, or is it sexual misconduct? One of those counts being that the victim / survivor was a minor under 16. And so under 16, not able to give consent to what this is, what the law is alleging that Wicklace did. The decision is not out. I'm having a hard time finding out the status of the case and if this hearing happened on the 12th. Yeah, last Thursday. If there was a hearing on the 12th. Okay, so let's go back here. So the occasional falsehood is being tolerated in the press because of this Sullivan decision. So it's saying if Tom Lydon put out, and Fox 9 News put out any falsehoods about Wicklace, knowing that they were false and with the intention of malice, that Wicklace could sue them. Okay? So that's what's being challenged. That's what some people want to change. And then other people are saying this is going to take away the freedom of the press and the freedom for people to say what they want. Now, how would that apply to First Amendment auditors and independent news sources? Because I often find that these independent news sources, especially Minnesota News Now, doesn't include the entire story. Now, when we talk about people that are charged with the crime, we use the word alleged. Alleged is a legal word, meaning this is what the law is saying this person did, but it hasn't been proven that the person did it. So we all know that a lot of cases are tried in the media. A lot of cases are tried in the court of public opinion before they're tried in a legal court. So where is the line? And I honestly don't have an answer for that. So if Jason wants to add his opinion there. So Jason, if you're presenting any falsehoods in your news story, are you subject to libel? The dictionary definition says published as in written. Well, let's just say, oh, well, I made a video, I didn't write it. Can argue that definition later of what publishing is. I'm going to publish this video. It's actually being published because I'm on a live. So, Jason, if you're presenting falsehoods as a media source, are you subject to libel? Are you subject to being sued? So you're saying that Tom Lydon's news source is false. You're saying that they're coming at Wicklace. They've just had it out for him for what he did with this camera person. So they're publishing all these falsehoods. So where is your proof that this is false? Because I have evidence and I'm working on that. I'm going to put together a nice professional news story Maybe I'll figure out how to screen share actual documents that I have. So where is your proof? Where's your proof that Wicklace did or didn't do this? We all have the charges. We all have the statements. I hope you have that stuff if you're publishing news stories about your friend. And then we all have so much video of Wicklace's previous behavior, which establishes a pattern of behavior. So where is your proof? And that's what I've been challenging you on for 3 weeks. Are we going on 3 weeks of this bullshit? Gosh, it's been almost a month. 1, 2. Oh, we're on 4 weeks now. We're almost on 4 weeks. Yeah, today's the 18th of August. Yep, it's been a month since the alleged crimes. So in the comment section, are the comment section considered news sources, or is it just the comment section, regular people making comments? Okay. People are like, "Oh, they set Tony up. Oh, da da da." So if the police set Tony up, they'd be sending this woman, Cass, into Tony's car so Tony could do these alleged crimes, to grope her, to start masturbating in the vehicle, to dump her off, and they've been out for him. Yeah, I believe the police have been out for Tony for breaking the law. Saw it coming. If you go back and you look at Officer Moore's video of Tony, of when Tony was arrested and the live stream kept on playing, and what Officer Moore said about having it out for him, yeah, they've had it out for him based on his behavior. So is his behavior legal? Is going around and making sexual noises in front of women, which is proven, it's on video, going around saying things, walking up to a woman that is Black and asking her if she has any chocolate in a sexual manner, is that legal? Is playing porn in public in front of children, is that legal? And the noises that porn makes, which are sexual noises, because porn is sex, so it makes sexual noises. I'm assuming anyone watching this has had sex or know what sex sounds like. Okay? Don't need to argue about that. So is that legal? Okay? Wicklace has gotten all the charges have been dropped for any time that he was arrested. None of that has stuck. But those behaviors are on videotape. Videotape doesn't lie. It's there. So, Jason, if you've made it to the end, which I hope you did take 20 minutes to watch this, where is your proof? Where's the proof that Tony didn't do this and that Tom Lydon has it out for him and they've just been waiting for him? Are you defending what Wicklace did? Because you published that video, you fucking stepped in it, you took a side, even though you said you're not taking a side, you defended Wicklace. So, my mind, you defended a sexual predator, which is why I've been coming at you for 4 weeks. So, other First Amendment auditors that are associates of Wicklace that have been out auditing with him have stayed fairly silent on this. One old video was published with Wicklace in it, which I found disgusting. So, silence is actually okay. That's not taking a side publicly, but you're taking a side either way. You're either saying, yep, this is true. Nope, this isn't true. Like I said, no in between. You have an opinion. So, like I've said repeatedly, I'm on the side of the vulnerable, abused, elderly, children. That isn't a bipartisan issue. It's not a blue line versus the people. It's about protecting people, protecting women, particularly, which is my cause, protecting Cass. So there isn't another Cass, that Wicklace can't hurt anyone anymore. So, Jason, come at me, please, because I'd love to know your opinion. So I hope you see this. 20 minutes and 45 seconds. SSBBW strikes. I'm signing out. Have a good day.